What's up guys, Chris here from Mainely Mesh. Today I'm going to be doing another stringing tutorial of the STX Eclipse with your standard 12D goalie mesh. So this will work for ECM Black, East Coast Mesh, Grizzly Mesh as well. Just take you through a pretty simple little pattern. Also watching the US, oh my goodness, literally just caught the US going down 1-0 to Sweden in women's soccer. So have to keep rooting while I'm stringing here. You guys are a little bit bad luck, but let's get right into this. So what we're going to start out with is our top string here. I've folded over the 11 diamond row. So there's 11 diamond rows and 12 diamond rows, as you can see here. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm basically going to be starting out by splitting a hitch across this first middle diamond here. So as you can see, I've got this diamond right in the middle, and I'm going to be kind of doing a funky little top string here that I want to make sure you guys get right. To set this up, you're going to basically take both ends of your sidewall string and you're going to go up to one side of the mesh bridge and up on the other side. So you're essentially creating a little loop. If I were to pull it all the way tight, you're creating like this little loop that's hanging onto this mesh bridge. So you could hang it up on the wall if you wanted to, right? From here though, I'm going to want to keep a little bit of space in this loop because I'm going to be coming around the back side of the scoop and then down through this hole. I'm going to do that same thing on the other side. So as you can see here, I've gone down through that hole. I'm doing the same exact thing on the other side, coming around the back with the other half of the string and down through this hole. And that's going to allow me to essentially split this hitch in half as I pull it tight. So I have it on both sides here. So it's just keeping that first diamond nice and even. From there, I'm going to be taking the left side, go down through this sixth hole and out through the fifth. Making sure I'm keeping that tension. This is a little bit awkward. You're just going to have to mess around with it. Then you're going to go down through the next scoop hole to the left, down to the right side of that mesh bridge. Pull that nice and tight for your little interlock. Then you're going to go up to the left side of that bridge. So if you guys don't do my field tutorials, you might not know what I mean by this. I only really string half of the mesh. It allows me to kind of hug that mesh bridge where I want it to. So I'm going up to the left side of this mesh bridge and around the back and then down through this big old hole I've created. Pulling that nice and tight. And now this is where I can start evening things out. So I'm starting from the middle. I'm going to go do this on the right hand side, going down through the sixth, out through the seventh, down through that next scoop hole, down to the left side of the mesh bridge, making sure I'm on the left side of that string so when I pull it tight, it comes in nice and clean, going up to the right side of that mesh bridge, around the back, and pulling that nice and tight. So as you can see here, basically where I am right now is I have a split hitch in the middle with 2 hitches on either side. Okay, so split hitches right here, hitch on either side. Now I'm going to do another split hitch with these next 2 outer diamonds. So I'm going down through the 5th diamond on the left-hand side and out, down through that scoop hole, down to the right side of the mesh bridge and making a little interlock there. But instead of hitching that, I'm coming around and out to the left side of the mesh bridge and then going up behind the next scoop hole. So I'm making another split hitch just like that with the mesh bridge in between. Gonna do the same thing on the other side really quick. So there's my split hitch on the opposite side. Nice and straightforward. Sorry if the lights are getting in the way on this. I'm still working on this. I should probably get a stool or something. Then I'm gonna go down through the 4th top mesh hole thingy mabobber doohickey, out through the 3rd. I'm going to do another hitch right here, going down through that 2nd to last scoop hole. Tie my interlock up to the left side of the mesh bridge, around up through that scoop hole, pull that nice and tight. Same thing on the other side real quick. Now from here, if you want, you can add one more little hitch. It's not really necessary. We're going to be tying this off to the second sidewall hole, so it's really up to you. Let's just throw in an interlock just to have a little bit more structure there, just for aesthetic's sake. Like I said, it really doesn't matter. Just tying a little interlock, doesn't even have to be a full hitch. But now from here, I'm not going back down through that second hole, through the second diamond. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go straight from that interlock, as you can see right here, out through the second sidewall hole. So if we look at it from the reverse angle here, we can see that this whole section is loose. These two diamonds are fully loose, and I'm basically gonna bunch these together. Okay, so I'm bunching that extra diamond that I'm not using, and I'm gonna wrap that twice around the second sidewall hole, making sure that the string comes out to the right each time. So I'm really pulling that tight, really making sure that bunch is nice and even, nice and clean. Once I get that double wrap, I'm just gonna tie it off. So I'm gonna tie one overhand, and you could actually fit a triple wrap if you wanted to. Just have fun with it. So you tie that first overhand knot, then you're gonna tie a second one right underneath it to eat up all that space. Now I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side here. So I'm going down through the 9th mesh hole, up through the 10th, down, and doing a little interlock to the left side of that mesh bridge, just like so. And then I'm gonna go out through the second sidewall hole on the other side of the head. And once again, tilt this down so you can see this process. Once again, what I'm doing basically is I'm taking these two extra diamonds, I'm going to wrap them so they bunch together nice and clean, just like so. Pull that nice and tight. Sometimes you have to situate it just a little bit, but a nice double wrap should keep it more than sturdy. Pull that nice and tight, and then tie your two overhand knots. So there is overhand knot number 1, and since it's a little bit loose, I'm going to tie my second overhand knot right underneath it. So as you guys can see right here, as I'm pulling it, that knot is coming underneath and filling up that space. So that's your top string for the shield real quick. It's basically a split hitch, followed by a hitch, followed by a split hitch, followed by a hitch, followed by an interlock. It's the best way I would describe that. And maybe that's how we'll start talking about our top string patterns and stuff, is kind of going from the inside out. But that's that. Onto these sidewalls.